Do. There's Joy. She's sitting outside all bundled up. It's 21 degrees. It's Texas. Joy's in Texas. Joy's it's in Texas. Joy, it's freezing, isn't it? Oh, my God. Good morning, folks. Good morning, Mike. It's cold as hell all over the country. We'll talk about, all of it. What a busy weekend. Where do you begin? You know what I mean? Where do you begin? How about beginning with hello, 48 degrees? My eyelashes froze, says Janelle. Oof, boo. Here's Richard Master. Morning, everybody. Billy and Steve. Hope Billy's not as soft with Dean Cain as he was with Megan. The not leg to stand on with these awful killings. Thank you, Richard. Thank you for your support. Richard, I politely say it's not my job. I don't think. It's not the way I roll to attack people. And then you burn a bridge and Megan never comes back. I'd rather press Megan, disagree with Megan in a polite way. That's how I'm going to do it. So we don't add to the discord. But I appreciate your criticism. Billy, you didn't have faith in the Seahawks. No, I lived here for 21 years. I wanted the Rams. I thought the Rams were going to roll them. And then I remembered Jackson Smith-Njigba is the greatest receiver in the NFL, I think, head and shoulders above everybody, including Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. And maybe one, top 5 of all time for sure. He's unbelievable. Sam Darnold redeemed himself, vindicated. Let's start with football, right? Because we all needed football after Saturday. Rams, Matthew Stafford was a giant. I think he threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, the guy is unbelievable at 37 years old. He absolutely did his job. It's 3 plays that cost him the game. The fumbled punt. That was devastating for the Rams. The dropped pass by Colby Parkinson over the middle, which was right in his hands, and they just fell out. He was on his way. Could have been a field goal or a touchdown. And then Coach McVay, who is one of the great offensive play callers of all time, really screwed up when he tried. He could not review a play that was close to a first down or not. He couldn't review it because he had already called the timeout. So if he had to challenge that call and was wrong, which he likely might have been, then he would have gotten 2 timeouts. So he had to let it go. People are pointing to that too. And then on the other side of things, the Seahawks were terrific. They came out of the gate right away on their first possession and established they established the momentum, they established the rhythm, and it took the Rams quite a bit of time to settle the game into a calm place. Seahawks were amazing. Jackson Smith-Njigba's, again, best in the NFL. And Darnold vindicated. Remember, he was for the Vikings last year, and he went to, in January, they played in Glendale, Arizona because of the LA fires. And he got rolled after an amazing regular season with the Vikings. He got rolled in the playoffs and just looked like he was a choker. Right, did not choke. So good for him. Now, of course, the Patriots on the other side. Steve Harding, Big Steve, is from Lynn, the city of sin in Massachusetts.
Yes.
Steve is all of his people, all of his brethren, his bloodline. They're going crazy for the Pats. 9-0 on the road this year.
Unbelievable.
And pulled off you know what the coolest thing was the CBS timestamps.
Yes.
On the game. They were chronicling the weather escalation. It started off. This is incredible. Oh, you pulled it up. How cool.
I actually taped it live, Bill.
You taped it?
I was so excited about it.
Look in the upper left corner here. This is how they begin the game.
Yep.
Lovely. Balmy, a little chilly, but nice. All right. There's the second quarter, and then it starts to increase. And then at the end, look at this. There's the third quarter and the fourth quarter in the end. That's
the same game. It's insane.
It's the same game. So it just turned into a defensive battle where like everyone would, they'd take their three. Everyone would lose. Both teams would lose about 3 or 4 yards on offense and then punt.
I thought two things. One is I think I texted you. When the announcer says the Patriots have the advantage because they blend in with the snow, you know that you're in for a game.
Yeah, I don't know. They still have numbers on them. It's not that blinding.
And also, I think Vrabel was amazing when he realized he couldn't move the ball up the field, and he basically just said, "We're just gonna literally give up downs and then punt back and try to stop them. There's no way we're gonna lose the ball now."
Yeah, so, I gotta say, I mean, you're an underdog. I mean, the Patriots should get steamrolled by the Seahawks. A lot of people think the Rams-Seahawks game was the Super Bowl. Winner of that is going to go to the big dance and roll the Patriots. I don't know.
Yeah. To be fair, I even agree. I think that the Seahawks-Rams game was so good that felt like we were watching the Super Bowl, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't mind being an underdog.
It's interesting. You saw the field goals in that game, and they just missed every one of them. Both teams missed every field goal. It was, sometimes it was too far right, and sometimes it was too far left. And what a metaphor for things in our country.
Oh, God.
That football game, right? Don't we want things
That's really good, Bill.
down the middle? We'd like to live life right through the uprights. Not too far right, not too far left. And all these loud voices on both far left and far right can just kiss my entire ass. It's just hijacking of America. And social media has so much to do with it. People just look at the, wow. What would this guy say? Oh my God, what would this guy say? Before we talk about ice in Minneapolis, let's talk about ice all over the South and the Southeast. Where's everybody at this morning? How's everybody doing? Do we have people who are, struggling? Boy, I mean, can you believe what's happening? Oxford, Mississippi. My ex-wife, Sydney, is building her place there. She went to Ole Miss. We have some friends at Ole Miss there. We've had Coach Keith Carter, the athletic director of Ole Miss, on. Got a bunch of friends who live there. More than 200 million people under winter storm threats yesterday as storm.
Really feel the weight of the ice out here.
Take this large here. Take it full. This is Reed Timmer, who's a storm chaser. He's in Oxford, Mississippi. He's got like over 1 million followers on Instagram, but imagine that as your life, a storm chaser. Just look how brittle everything is. It's so cold. There's such thick ice on the branches. And what's interesting is the trees, they're not falling over. They're exploding. There's moisture inside the trees, and they explode, which is incredible. Anyway, this guy's just showing this what an ice storm looks like. There he is. It's interesting, right? It worked its way from New Mexico and Texas all the way up to the Northeast. Steve's mom got 19 inches of snow. She's almost at 2 feet. It's still going. I expect it to continue. This weekend saw the most flight cancellations since March 27th of 2020 during the COVID pandemic. Total cancellations. I mean, a buddy of mine was watching the football game with me, and he's like, I got to catch my flight to Dallas. I said, you're probably going to be canceled and you'll come back. 45 minutes later, he walked right back out, continued watching the game with us. His flight was canceled. Almost 13,000, according to FlightAware. Delays exceeded 20,000. Almost 900,000 people were without power as of last night, according to poweroutage.us. Over 550,000 people in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Several deaths, sadly, related to hypothermia and auto accidents reported, and the number is only going to increase in the coming days. Temperatures in most areas were impacted by Winter Storm Fern, expected to remain below average this week. Fern, who names these things? I'm serious. That is the weirdest name. So Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee, freezing rain, ice damage, widespread power outages, exploding trees in all of those places. Can you believe that? Big snow drift at Jackie's door. Now you got to stay in today, Jackie. Make a little hot cocoa, maybe some tea, right? Turn on the fire, kick your husband's ass and Scrabble. Who knows? Well, big snow drift. That's ice in the Southeast. Ice in Minneapolis is a different thing. Look, I know people are hotly contested, and we talk about this sometimes. I'm going to do a 10 a.m. show on it entirely. I wrote for 2 days. I've been writing my thoughts. I have Dean Cain on at 10 o'clock. And I'm going to attack him, man. I'm going to just attack him. I'm going to go after him so hard. No, I'm not. He signed up for ICE. He signed up, and I can tell you this. I know Dean for a long time. He's a very good person. He signed up for the right reasons. I don't think his application has gone all the way through, even though we've all seen that journalist woman who said, she was accepted right away, meaning they'll accept anyone. But Dean is sort of honorary, you know what I mean? He's not receiving money. But he's a really good person. His parents, Sharon and Chris, are unbelievable. But he has to acknowledge, I would think, that there's a terrible, terrible problem here of leadership, of communication, of enactment, you name it. It's right now, it's the state versus the feds. And Minneapolis, what the hell is going on in Minneapolis? Why is this such a hotbed city in the middle? I thought Midwestern folks, just like real simple. Oh yeah, hey, how are you? Going down to Hennepin Avenue there, going to get myself a beer. No. From George Floyd in 2020, the two legislators last June and their spouses who were shot, one of them and her spouse killed. In August, the mass shooting in the Catholic Church, 2 children died. You got Renee Good on January 7th, and now on Saturday, the nurse at the VA, 37-year-old Alex Pretti. So he was stripped of his handgun. He did have a license to carry the handgun. Nuance is so important here. Like, I personally would not have brought a handgun. Even though I have a license to carry and a permit, I don't think I would take it out to a protest. Maybe feel I got to be able to defend myself against these. I don't know if I would have brought it up. I'm not criticizing him because he's definitely a victim here. But nothing is all or nothing. You know what I mean? This is mostly something, but there is a sliver of something here. It's not enough for, Gregory Bovino and Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and some of these people to jump all over, one possible sliver and call it justification for what happened. No chance. The Trump administration is pushing groundless accusations against Alex Pretti. Lies, basically, just lies. Gregory Bovino, who is the, official in charge of Border Patrol, told CNN that Alex Pretti wanted to perpetrate violence, obstruct, delay, or obfuscate Border Patrol in the performance of their duties in an active crime scene. He went on to say that Alex Pretti, the nurse, wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Now, either you're the biggest idiot in the world or you think we are. That is the most mindless, lazy gaslighting I've ever been a receiver of. He wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. You're just not going to be able to sell that to anyone. Unfortunately, this day and age, we have video evidence and none of it supports what you're saying, sir. And by the way, they had Gregory Bovino out there and they had Kristi Noem at the same time. And I saw one news site put their speeches, their opening remarks layered on top of each other, and they were exactly the same. So, of course, the talking points went out. Besides Bovino and Noem, you got the Rottweiler, Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, who called Alex Pretti an assassin who tried to murder federal agents. Another dope. I mean, a guy that, he went to Santa Monica High School here, Stephen Miller. He was the most objectionable guy in the yearbook. But he's really a this guy, the fact that he can openly lie like that without blinking, I mean, no conscience. He said, this level of engineered chaos is unique to Minneapolis. It is the direct consequence of far left agitators working with local authorities. Somebody please smack that smarmy little rodent. Then, of course, you got the influencers who are making up scenes. You got Nick Sorter and Jack Posobiec there, or whatever their names are. Several million followers on X describing Mr. Pretti, the nurse, as having run up on police and drawn his gun. I mean, just open lies. And then they put photos of all kinds of different men dressed in drag or like shirtless at a gay festival and called it Alex Pretti in order to ignite, some hate against him from the far, far right. I mean, this is where the brain rot of social media, the cesspool of social media, I mean, it can so quickly become that. So Trump's answer most recently is he's going to send Tom Homan to Minneapolis. That's going to solve it. I'm sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight. This is Trump less than an hour ago. He's not been involved in that area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough, but fair, and will report directly to me. Sir, at this point, is Tom Homan the answer? I mean, separately, a major investigation is going on with respect to them. Okay, here we go. Here comes the diversion and the new enemy. Always find a new enemy to target and highlight in your endless zero-sum game. A major investigation is going on with respect to the massive $20 billion plus welfare fraud that has taken place in Minnesota and is at least partially responsible for the violent organized protests going on in the streets. Additionally, the DOJ and Congress are looking at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. There we go. Another adversary, another villain to highlight, who left Somalia. And by the way, she is terrible, let's be honest. Ilhan Omar, who left Somalia with nothing and is now reportedly worth over $44 million. Time will tell. Well, if you're not saying that you're not grifting, I hope, because you're grifting to the tune of billions. But the fact that Ilhan Omar is worth about $44 million, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. All of Congress, So funny when you put these people in a position. What would you do if you were a congressperson, right? You had access to all this information, right? That's going to affect the markets. Would you move your chips in the direction that most benefited you? And knowing that there would be no insider trading accusations, you'd be able to get away with it. You happened on the information. It's not like you went out of your way. You were in that committee hearing. Would you do it? Yeah, you would, probably. How could you not if you knew? And Ilhan Omar is no different. So I just love, there's really just nobody no elected official has a moral leg to stand on, and yet they all, keep trying. So Ilhan Omar is definitely, I would assume she's made all that money. She's gathered all that money. She hasn't earned it. But, is now the time to be attacking Ilhan Omar, to get our attention off of this guy after what we've been through? No. Full accountability first, sir. what's coming out of the federal government and President Trump are flat out lies. They're not working. On January 13th, YouGov poll, 27% of people believe the ICE shooting of Renee Good was justified. Just 27% said justified. Now, frankly, that's a terrifying number to me. I look at the video 10 different ways. It's not justified at all, but 27% of people believe so. The YouGov poll conducted yesterday, 20% think that the shooting of Alex Pretti was justified. So 1 out of 5 people, which is, I think, even scarier a statistic for me. 63% say not justified. And then I guess the rest are in the middle, 17% or so. As you break it down by parties, Democrats, 83% are horrified and reject the premise for what happened, of course. Out of independents, 50% say it's not justified. Out of the Republicans, 44% say that it was justified. 43% are not sure. So there's a toss-up between absolutely justified and I don't know. Only 13% of Republicans say not justified. Somehow.
That the I don't know is, I don't know, I'm sorry. But I think the I'm not sure is, I don't really want to say anything when I really think.
Yeah, I don't know is like, I don't know where I'm going tonight, what I'm going to do tomorrow. Like, I'm so disillusioned by all of it. I just want it to go away. I don't want to talk about this stuff. And I get that. I don't enjoy it either. I wish we weren't here, but we are. And that's our job, is just to meet people where, let's just meet where things are. Look, I think MAGA hates being called out. You know what I mean? They're still, hairpin sensitive to being lectured by the left on anything. So they'll probably dig their heels in the coming days, is my guess. Once the horror of what they clearly witnessed wears off, perhaps they'll solidify. I'm thinking, and Trump diverts a little bit and kills Ilhan Omar for a little while. He's a master at this shit. He is master at these ninja games. He is a master. Anyway, that's it for now on that. There will be more at 10 a.m. I'm going to tell you this right now. At 10 a.m., I'm going to do just a big editorial that I wrote, and then I'm going to talk to Dean Cain. And then I'm going to talk to a woman who worked with Alex Pretti, the deceased nurse there. She worked with him at the hospital, right? Yeah. So we tracked her down, and she'll give us an accurate picture of this guy. I'd like to give him a moment in the sun here, figure out who he was, and then Dean. Dean and I will have a discussion and a disagreement, and I will not attack him, Richard Master. English Dick. I will not do it, but I will, of course, challenge him and disagree. Okay, let's see here. I want this comment. Billy hates Trump because he kicked the Bush's asses. I will be honest, my cousin Jeb Bush could never wrap his head around someone like Donald. He was caught being too, I guess, establishment and too, trained by his father, H.W. Bush, to recognize someone like Trump. Politics had never seen anyone like him, and I understand. But he understands now how Trump did it. He definitely sold people on getting rid of the old way. My question for you there, S.J. Sturkey, is: do you have any buyer's remorse, or are you loving it all? Okay. The agent took his gun before they shot and killed him. He was attempting to help a woman. Yeah. No, the family put out an amazing statement about, people throw around the word hero, but his last act was trying to, was coming to the rescue of a woman who was just shoved down to the ground by a man, claiming to be law enforcement. It's just incredible. Anyway, more at 10 a.m. Oh, what I was saying before is, yeah, the politics, sends people to their corners. And because I'm a centrist, I always look for the nuance. I always look for, acknowledge inconvenient truths in an attempt to live in the middle. I just hope to God we can live in the middle sometimes. Social media doesn't want us to. It exists. Social media exists on extreme ends and, loud, extreme positions. And it's killing all of us, man. I love a really strong, moral, centrist politician, president. So I'm going to do this show at 10 a.m. with Dean and this doctor who worked with Alex Pretti at the hospital. And it is not going to do well. It is going to get very few views, right? And that's another problem. That everybody out there who makes their living doing this way and communicating with people goes to their corner where the algorithm tells them this is successful for you. This works for you. For me, that would be Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. These are go-tos, right? Feed a little chum to the water. And I don't do it disingenuously. I actually riveted by that debacle. I like doing it. I like getting into it. Meghan Markle, I'm obsessed with what she's doing. But this is too important. So join me or don't. I'm doing it. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, can we go to Ryan Reynolds? I've been obsessed with his text messages all weekend long. What the with this guy? He is the most mercurial, psychotic guy. I played a little. I hung out with someone who very close to Ryan for a long time on the professional front, has an unbelievable, unique look into the situation, was in constant communication with Ryan when this all started to blow up. Let's go to August of 2024 when the fallout and Ryan was screaming at everybody, you need to do something. Blake's image is getting tarnished. And Ryan Reynolds could not accept the fact that any of this was Blake's doing, that it had to be coming from the guy in the pink suit with the white mesh tank top underneath. It had to be. And I'm saying that only that Baldoni's outfit is so horrendous that you keep seeing in this at the premiere. Like, didn't anyone say? Anyway, Reynolds' texts are just, they're fantastic. They're fantastic. All right, should we go through some? Here's an article. Let's just go through some of the old stuff. This is from Monday, February 3rd of 2025, almost a year ago. Justin Baldoni exposed an alleged text exchange he had with Blake Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, in the It Ends With Us drama. Remember, Blake sued Justin for sexual harassment on the set. She claimed he hired a crisis PR team to smear her in retaliation. Justin denied the claims and said Blake was the one who smeared him. He claimed that she seized control of his film. Now, these are going way back. This is before the meeting at the apartment. Some of these texts, right? Justin claimed that Blake and Ryan used the bullying tactics and their power in Hollywood to push him out of the project following production. In his lawsuit, Justin revealed the alleged text he sent and received with Ryan on February 28th, 2023. So this is before any filming had gotten started. This is before the meeting in their apartment. And I will say this, Baldoni kind of freaks out because he's like worried about like the intense love scenes and whatever between him and Blake. and he knows that Ryan is super powerful. He's Deadpool. You know what I mean? And like it could affect his business. So I will say this, Baldoni initiates the weirdness by saying like, hey, you know, I'm going to be like basically mounting your wife. I just want you to know it's cool. And I'm like my wife. And then like, don't bring it up. We're all actors here. You don't have to like bring up the idea. I'm criticizing Baldoni now. You don't have to bring up the idea that we're all going to be, you know, bumping uglies here in some sort of way, at least with a little sock, you know? But like you planted the visual for Ryan and which sort of unleashes his crazy, which is ready to go at any minute, by the way. So in one alleged message, Justin writes to Ryan, I asked Blake for your number and have wanted to text you for a while now, but my good old nerves got the best of me. Emily, Justin's wife, and I have a small circle. We live out in the country, pretty much just hang out with each other. I don't really have any close female friends that my wife isn't also friends with, let alone married ones. And so I guess this is just an awkward text to say, I'd like to be friends. Oh, it's awkward. Okay. Everything about that text is awkward. If I'm Ryan, I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, he doesn't have to explain. Like, did you have plans to like, you know, seduce my wife? Like, why are you sending this? Justin added, Blake also sent the sweetest message to my wife, unprompted, saying something similar, which just made me respect her and your union even more. Your union? This is like weirding out. He starts typing and he's like, blah, 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 blah. We respect your union. Who the hell says that? Steve, I want to know that I respect you and Letty's union. Okay?
It's really a weird thing to say.
It's
I've
weird.
never said that in my life. I respect your union.
It is. It is. But he's an oversensitive person. All right? He's not an SHer, as we've been clear about. Anyway, I don't really have any close female friends that my wife isn't also friends with, let alone married ones. And so I guess this is just an awkward text to say, I'd like to be friends. Then he added, like he hadn't gone on long enough, Blake also sent the sweetest message to my wife, unprompted, saying something similar, which just made me respect, her and your union even more. I've been a supporter and admirer from afar of both of yours for years. You're in a class of your own, and so I appreciate the way you move. I appreciate the way you move? These are the weirdest comments, Baldoni. Jesus, that's awkward. Again, you're inviting a crazy person with pre-existing conditions to unleash on you. In the alleged text, Ryan responded, hey, Justin, sorry for the delay. I've been in a writing cave and the girls are sick again. In the alleged message, Ryan joked, I'm told, they have an immune system, but it's in beta testing right now. Ryan continues, what a loving and generous message. Thank you, Justin. But we're both looking forward to getting to know you and your family better and watch your every fucking move. We're also big fans over here. Since we met, and more so after, you've been a wonderful collaborator with B, and that means a great deal to both of us. Being a stand-up person is everything, and you've been just that since day one. Thank you. A veiled warning there? No? All right. I think that's a little passive-aggressive. Then Ryan adds in the text, alleged text, you've hit the jackpot with B. She literally passes on every film and every filmmaker all the time. She's just like so busy. But one thing I know, and I speak from a deep wellspring of experience here, having her in your court behind the scenes as a creative is invaluable. Okay, Blake's plans to take over the production here are already moving. He's telling Justin, she's going to be all up in your shit. She's going to be in your editing room. She's going to be crossing out lines in the script. And it's of great value to you. You're a lucky person, Justin. He's warning him that this is coming. The alleged message from Ryan continues. Some of the greatest creative decisions I've made are, in fact, Blake. The acting is a small piece of pretty astounding patchwork quilt of creativity. More than anything, I rely on her taste. Far beyond movies, I rely on her taste for all aspects of my business. At least, no, you don't rely on it for your clothing. All those little cutoff shirts that you wear, the little untuckets, are all you. Blake's idea of what looks good is a disaster. Far beyond movies, yeah, rely on that multidimensional creative output is something I can see in both of you. I'm excited for you to work together. I'm excited for Blake to crack open her creative piggy bank with someone as dynamic as you. Why the fuck is this guy up in their shit, like so far up in this movie? You're doing Deadpool at the same time. Why are you he's so controlling, mercurial, manipulative. He's sitting here Svengalying the director of his wife's movie. Ugh. So in the message, Ryan thanks Justin for, quote, understanding what it means to me personally to have my family reunited as soon as possible. I can promise you we are hardwired for keeping our family together. It's how to win us and also how to kill us when we can't. We never split up, Justin, ever. It was a huge thing for us on the film. I tried to push our start date, but Marvel booked studios last July. This is where he's now moving this puny little Baldoni to adjust the production schedule of his peanut little bee film while his massive superhero film is doing their thing. So they can, have their personal schedule. He can be with his wife and when he needs to. Ryan appears to be referencing the Deadpool. He continues, I've been frantically smashing out my third pass of the script to address structural changes, but lest you think he's just an actor. Mostly to get our budget down and shorten the shoot so I can fly back with the girls when school starts. All this to say, I'd have your line producer's face tattooed to my perineum, his asshole, if he or she can figure out how to start 2 weeks earlier. Completely understand how big of an ask that is, but I love doing it because I'm me and you're you. But the perineum is one of the most nervy parts of the human body to expose to trauma. So literal, so funny, so cute. I happen to adore you, Justin. That's how it ends. No, you don't. You have such incredible disdain for him. You'd send this. You have no respect and 100% disdain for this little guy. So you have the balls to send him this. Adjust the schedule of your shit little movie so I can be with my wife when I want. It's astounding, this guy. It really is. Anyway, there's so much in there. God almighty, this guy, he's so rude.
I think a lot of people like Ari and Sky here talks about, they just think that actors talk like this as a whole. Like this, we just have to
the self-importance.
Yeah.
The text and the creative energy and synergy and people who work at the bank just don't talk like this. You know what I mean? They're so affected, right? Like what they do is such elevated importance. You memorize the words written by other people and say them into a camera lens. And some of you are so emotionally fucked up, you can cry on command. That's great. But it's, possibly suggestive of instability. The rest of us cry when the moment warrants. Billy, you seem like such a fair individual. Your parents did very well raising you. Cheers to them. I'm with you. They did.
We love, my cat's name is Karen. She said this, I saved it.
Let's just call her Karen.
We'll call her Karen.
Yeah.
She says that you're picking on Justin this morning. I don't know if you're picking. I think you're just presenting
fairness.
Yes, that's what I was.
Fairness.
We love Karen, but
like we did in the ice discussion. Fairness. You can't just stick with your what I'm not interested in arguing one side and having blinders on and only in anything. I just want to put it all out there because that's what being human is, right? For example, and by the way, Justin's text, his opening text to Ryan, he opened the can of crazy for Ryan by being awkward. That was awkward. And it makes me realize Justin Baldoni is no SH'er. He did not SH Blake Lively. But I think getting, her Mean Girl act, getting the cast to turn on him worked so easily because he is kind of awkward, right? I mean, they picked on the mean, the kind of the different kid.
My thing is that what I read out of that entire thing is just that Ryan wants to move the schedule so he can hang out with It's Better for the Family. You could read that whole thing you just did. All he wants is to move the schedule of the thing.
No, I also want you to know that I'm me and you're you, and and I'm gonna make you do it, and you're gonna do it because you want to ultimately be in one of my productions later on. You want to get to the big leagues, and he's not wrong. At this point, he was like, "Oh my God, Ryan Reynolds is gonna not like me." Shit, he's not even. Oh my God, I touched Blake in a weird way. Oh shit! And Ryan Reynolds is that kind of a freaky weirdo that he's going to jump on that nervous, guilty energy he feels from Baldoni, that he's preying on a weak and vulnerable man, right? He knows he can do it because he knows he's terrified of Ryan. You've gone too far here. Billy's a journalist with integrity. Oh, jeez. Boy. Not married to his opinion, but looking for the truth. I am definitely a truth, addict. I want that out there. For example, like Taylor Swift and all of this. Yeah, she mean girled up with Blake Lively. And, she's texting 3 weeks before the New York Times article in December of 2024. She's texting, oh my God, this bitch, he's got his little tiny violin out. This bitch doesn't know what's coming. Oh my God. But let's be honest for a second here. As we do. Ladies, your girlfriend sends you a text. It says, this creep at my, bank branch where I work is creeping up on me. Like, he is so gross. He's trying to like everything. He's suggestive of sexual this, like when he pours coffee, he's like, I like it hot, baby. Do you? I don't know. He's weird. I don't like this guy. He's creeping me out. Raise your hand if you've ever responded to a girlfriend. Fuck him. He's dead. I'm going to kill him. I love you, girl. He's the creepiest fucking... You don't know anything other than what your girlfriend said. And you're gonna destroy the guy. And because Taylor Swift is a billionaire and has, writes songs about women's empowerment and bad dudes and we girls stick together, whatever it is, that she's not allowed to share this trait with literally everybody in the world. Now, sadly, people saw it. It was meant to be private. I know a thing or two about that. Billy Bush was in a situation with the man who's currently calling all the shots in Washington. That was a totally private situation, and he was saying some crazy ass shit, and I went along with it. Something everybody does or is prone to do. Drunk Uncle Larry is at the Thanksgiving table, and he's mouthing off about them damn, the brown people, the yellow people, the whatever. And you're like, oh, shit, Larry, what is going on? Stop. Okay, let's go over here. Well, it's called bystander abuse is what they call it. They actually have a name for it. But that's what Swiftie did. And she got popped. And you know what? We build them up so they can come down. And she has a little bit of that thing, right? People can detect that there's a little bit of a well-hidden kind of mean girl tendency in there maybe sometime. And so she cracked open that door and gave people, and she's getting pounded. By the way, she's totally out of sight. It will blow over. It will take longer than most things to blow over, but she's not coming out until that's done. And she's already done her big thing. She's back home with Travis Kelce. She's getting ready to get pregnant and have babies. And I bet she's not reading any of this shit, probably not even looking at it until she gets subpoenaed and shows up in court May 18th, 2026. Okay. Scarlett Johansson says, I told you Ryan Reynolds was an a-hole. So yeah, the guy I was hanging out with this weekend, very much in her circle. Like I said, name on some of the texts that you've seen out there, his name is in there as a communicator. And what was revealed is the paranoia from this guy. He had it. They had the greatest movie that it was tracking. You could see the tracking. It's amazing. It's like Vegas, right? With the odds in these football games, how they get it right every time. Oh, it's going to be a 3-point game. And it is. You're like, what the hell? Same thing. The movie trackers know exactly how much money is going to come out of people's wallets for a movie before they do it. And he's like, dude, you got a huge movie for your wife. The biggest movie that Blake has ever had. And it is all her on the poster. She is going to have, her phone is going to be ringing off the hook. She's going to have more power in Hollywood than you ever imagined. And the self-sabotage is unbelievable. Her manager was in some of those unredacted documents. And he's like, in a situation like this, you manage a woman like Blake after a successful weekend like that, then a movie like that, I would assume that the next thing to happen is more offers with more money. Absolutely, he said. Did that happen? He's like, it did not. She and Ryan combined their crazy and their hatred for this weak little puppy that just irritated them. And they shot their careers away because of him. I mean, wild. Wait, I disagree. Billy, I think Taylor is following all of this and it's driving her crazy, but her PR team is telling her to lay low. My guess, she's pretty pissed off at Blake. I mean, if Taylor Swift hasn't learned by now to stay off social media in times like this, I mean, she moved to Europe for 2 years because she couldn't deal with the backlash from Kanye and all that stuff and Kim Kardashian and that's how badly it affected her. She moved away. I think she's learned. I disagree with your disagree. I don't think she's following any of this right now. She's making sourdough bread for Travis. And by the way, she's following him around the house. Taylor Swift is saying to Travis Kelce, oh my God, I'm ovulating. I'm in my window. Where are you? Get home. Get home. And you know what they say is if you stand on your head and we do it this way, she's going crazy on him, chasing him all over for the baby. Don't you think? She's a 5th grader. Jackie, do you know that I was once on the game show, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? As soon as I said 5th grader, I was on the show, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And I was until I wasn't. I had $125,000, I think, and I was going for $250,000, and I went for it. Instead of walking away with 125, not for myself, for the Lollipop Theater Network, which shows movies to children in hospitals who can't get out to go see them with their friends in the theater because they're in isolation or whatever. I did walk away with something. Do you want to know the question that got me? Don't ChatGPT, don't Google. Steve, you went right when I said it. Steve had his hands on the keyboard and he went like this.
That's not true. I'm trying to remember it. I was there. No.
Civil War General Stonewall Jackson. What was his first name? A, Stephen. B, Andrew. C, Thomas. D, Michael. Bing, ding, 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 ding.
In the chat.
Ding, Andrew. That's what I said. Andrew. Who's the first to get it? We all said Andrew. I said Andrew. And I spat it out so quickly because think it's got to be Andrew. And it's not Andrew. And it's not Larry. It is Thomas Stonewall Jackson. Thank you, Billy, so much for playing. And look at all these children over here. And you just lost $125,000 for kids who need it. You're a bad person. No, I was trying to help them even more. I didn't think I was helping them enough. I didn't get to keep that money anyway. But boy, that felt bad. They gave me a $25,000 thanks for coming out. And the woman who's the executive director of the Lollipop Theater Network for Children is sitting in the audience. She was my guest and came with me. And she was like, good job. Good job. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Thomas, you moron, you idiot, you dope, you entertainment news dingbat, teleprompter reader. Oh, my Lord, it is a crazy day. And there is Thomas Jonathan Stonewall Jackson. Oh, he's TJ? I didn't know that. His middle name is Jonathan. And then they throw a Stonewall in there. No moral high ground because he knows he's lying. That's got to be back to R squared, right? Taylor and Travis, I don't think it's going to last. Fluffy. Really, Jen? I don't know. I think so. You know what I mean? She's on the phone and he's I would have said Andrew too. Yeah, we all would have. TJ Jackson. I got it first. I think I'm on Billy's shit list. Oh no, you're never on my shit list. No one's on my shit list. A little bit English dick though. A little bit. I'm a little chapped at English dick. He's lucky I'm not over there. Blew that out my ass. Oh, damn, that's a graphic one. Folks, who wants the last word here? Steve, we've got a big show today. Josh Shapiro. I'm watching Good Morning America. He's live on Good Morning America right now. Josh Shapiro talking about he's the governor of Pennsylvania. He's talking about the ICE rally. There we go. Give me a shake at 10 a.m. I mean, if you can, give us a look. I wrote this over 2 days, and you'll know everything about the way I think and feel. But I understand if you don't. Okay. Will Ryan Reynolds be watching? Remember when Ryan Reynolds got into my Instagram, and he liked, oh my God. This is it. Ryan Reynolds went into my Instagram and he knew I would see it. Van City, whatever. He went into my Instagram and he liked a post I made defending the young girl from Ole Miss. Remember, there was a young sorority girl from Ole Miss who a whole bunch of like streamers and like Vine, I don't know, what's the Rumble, some of these like, you know what I mean? Some of these people online outed her and said she slept with her boyfriend's father. Like total harassment of this girl. And she like got so trashed in school, she had to move off campus, and she was like, her whole world blew up. And then a certain sports analyst for ESPN repeated the charge on his show, which was, it went away, but it was not good. And it was a whole big thing. And I stood up and I defended her. I said, how dare these shitty little boys go and do that to this girl? I have 3 daughters. If someone did that to my daughter, I would find that piece of shit and come down on him with hell, rain, and fire. And Ryan Reynolds went in and liked that post. You see, this guy is so passive aggressive. What is he saying to me? You see, Billy? Huh? Men mistreating women like this, and Justin did that to Blake, right? You see the connection? No. No. Your wife did it. Your wife sought this weak little lamb out for slaughter to feed her insecurity problem, which is there because of you and Taylor Swift and all the people she's surrounded by in your life. Bradley Cooper, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, all these people. It's hard for the star of Gossip Girl to keep up with everybody like that. So, you know, instead of making your own movie, but just take someone else's. If you're right in the middle of it, you're the star, right? You're the big vehicle of the whole thing. Well, why not just take all of it? I did everything. I'm to keep up with you, buddy. Bang. All right. 10 o'clock. We're going at it. Dean Cain will be there. He's still heavily involved with ICE, an ICE spokesperson. Doesn't get paid. Big supporter. Administration, and I don't know where he is on this. The best part is I haven't talked to Dean. It's going to be live. And we haven't spoken about it. So it'll all happen live. Oh, Steve, you want a smoothie? I've got some good fruit. I've got some almond milk to throw in there. I've got some apples.
One of these shows when we don't have ABC because it's talking about we should talk about smoothies. Because last week, it's been a week now, we came up with a new smoothie.
Yeah, I did.
Which is outstanding.
Almond butter,
Yeah.
apples, banana. I like to make Steve a smoothie when I'm doing it for protein and energy, and because he's Steve. Okay.
All right, it's time for it.
This is my bobblehead day.
AM comes fast.
Sun Chaser Susan, don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah,
Please. I need likes.
this is a great comment. That's
I
exactly.
love your show. All of it. Diverse topics, commentary, etc. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara.
On that note,
I love America, and I love you. And that is why I am going to run president of I'm announcing. I'm back. I'm announcing my run for